Hi, I'm Willie Bokma, and this is my son-in-law Tyler, and we operate Bokma Dairy south of Twin Falls, and we're here to give you a little tour of our facility and talk about what we do and how we do it out here in the windy heart of southern Idaho.
This is where it all starts. Day one, these are calves that are born last night, being ready to go to the calf ranch, where they will get fed and cared for, raised till about 6 months of age.
The gentleman that's arrived here is going to take the calves in this special calf coach, along with the milk that they get hospital milk from our barn, the extra milk that we have for cows that we can't milk into the we can't sell the milk for. We put that into the tank that this gentleman picks up. This area over here is where our heifers that come from the calf ranch come back to. When they're 6 months of age, they come back from the day-old babies that we saw earlier. They're about this big now. So when they're day-old, they're about 80 pounds. And when they come back, they're about 400 to 450 pounds. So they grow in 180 days time. They'll grow about 300 pounds of weight gain in that amount of time, at least, if not more. But our Jerseys, as you can see, are a little smaller. The brown ones, they're a little smaller than the Holsteins, which are the black and white ones. So Jerseys are a little smaller animal, and we have Jerseys as well as Holsteins. And the Jerseys we have to make chocolate milk with. Not really, it's milk that has higher butter fat content and protein content. So that would be our brownies. All the little brownies that you see are Jerseys.
This is our feed mixing area where we store all the commodities, where we mix all the feed for the cows. We feed approximately 110 to 120,000 pounds of feed per day of different ingredients. We'll kind of show you what we all feed. So we feed a energy blend with molasses, mainly molasses in it, that was stored in this tank. And then we also add whey to the feed to add moisture content and a little bit of energy. It's what's left of the sugar beets after the sugar factory takes out what they need, which is the same thing we just looked at, but it's dry.
This is a product that's called earlage. So this is the ears of corn after they've been dried down and they've been run through a chopper. So the corn little pieces have been chopped and processed, and it's got some moisture in it, and it's what's called ensiled. So it smells a little bit sour, but it is very good feed for the cows.
This is the green mix of all the ingredients that we feed, containing cottonseed, canola pellets, ground corn, corn distillers, the dairy mineral, beef pulp, and all that mixed together. Our alfalfa hay that we feed. This is our mineral package. Each cow gets about a pound of this per day. So this is corn distillers, which is a byproduct of ethanol. So this is ground corn. It's basically whole corn that's ground up. This is cottonseed. It is also a byproduct. This canola pellets
is a byproduct as well. It's from the production of canola oil. This stuff here is called corn silage. It is what's called ensiled or pickled corn. And we harvest this. We grow most all of it ourselves. We grow about 500 acres of corn for silage. And we harvest this in early October or late September, and we harvest it kind of all at once. It's the optimal time to do that, and then we pile it up on this slab of asphalt to help preserve it, and all the air is squished out of this stuff, and it's packed down and packed down and packed down, so it goes through a process called ensiling. And then after that's done, then we push out all the oxygen with big machines as it's chopped and brought in from the fields, and we pack it down really tight and hard to preserve it, and it keeps the oxygen out because oxygen causes it to decompose. And that's why we also cover it with plastic, 2 layers of plastic on the top. One is called an oxygen barrier, and the other is just to keep the rain and moisture off it, sunlight. And we try to feed off this pile from the eastern side always, so we get less sun exposure on it, because sun has a tendency to make things not as good. Okay, when it dries out, and it also molds, and we want to keep it as good as possible for our cows. So we feed off the eastern side, and this is a year's worth of corn silage that we have. Okay, this is a blended feed that we give our cows. These cows in this particular corral happen to be all fresh cows. That means they just had their babies. So they're all new mothers in here, and they're making lots of milk. We milk these 4 times per day, these cows. And we do that for a couple of different reasons. It helps them to get healthy again, back on their feet, so they can start a good lactation, and it really stimulates their lactation. That means that the milk that they give, so that we will have optimum milk production from these cows. And this is a blended feed. It's all those ingredients that we showed you, all blended together by our feeder man in that big giant mixer wagon, and it gives them exactly what they need. We have a nutritionist come by. He's like a dietitian. He comes by every week to make sure that everything is fed perfectly here. So these great big bales look brown on the outside, but they're all nice green leafy hay on the inside. And this is hay that we raise. So we try to maintain it in these stacks, and we keep them under this barn so they keep out of the moisture. And the other stacks that we have we can't fit underneath here, we put tarps on. So we have company that comes out and helps us put tarps on the haystack, so that keeps it preserved. So it's top quality, well preserved, and it's as good a quality as we can get for our animals. These big giant sausage bags hold different feeds that we use, and this one happens to be holding haylage. This is alfalfa that's been chopped after it's grown and dried down a little bit in the field, and then they preserve it, and they put it inside these great big sausage bags to keep it fresh. And it looks brown, but it smells really good. Cows really love this stuff. So it's like like them eating fresh alfalfa.
So this is our milking parlor where the cows come to get milk twice a day, every 12 hours. We have a strict procedure to stimulate milk flow and catch sick cows. We use a hydrogen peroxide to disinfect the teats, then they clean it with a towel and attach the machine. We're producing 70 to 75 pounds per cow per day.
In the summer months, it'll go up to 80 to 85 pounds per cow per day. The milk that comes out of the cows is coming out at her body temperature, which is about 101 degrees or 90, or about 100 degrees, the cow's internal body temperature. So the milk comes out at that temperature. It flows down through these stainless steel pipelines into the stainless steel, this is called a receiver tank. And it's got a float switch in there that takes the warm milk and it pumps it through this filtration system. And once it goes through the filtration system, then it goes through what's called a chiller. and the chiller takes the milk that was warm at 100 degrees and it takes it and instantly cools it down to 34 degrees.
So this is our tank room where we have 2 storage tanks which hold approximately, one holds 60,000 pounds of milk, the other holds 48. So we have about a day and a half worth of milk storage here. These tanks are insulated tanks, so it'll keep it cold till it's picked up on from the milk truck.
Our milk happens to go to make Greek style yogurt, which is a very good fresh product, and it comes from the dairy. It's in Chobani by this morning's milk is probably being processed right now, so it could potentially be on the shelf in a day or less. Thanks for coming out and visiting us. Our dairy is open for visitors. On a regular basis we give tours, and we're always happy to help people understand where their food comes from.
Make sure you get your 3 servings of dairy per day.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 servings of dairy per day.